Now that we have dropped down into our intraday time frame, this is an hourly chart right here, right? Like we said on our daily time frame, this dark black line right here at 27,459.5, that's our one standard deviation from our manipulation leg all the way down here. This from this high down to that low. That's our manipulation leg on the daily time frame. If you notice, what do you notice about this manipulation leg right here? Remember, every time we see an expansion and a retracement on some time frame, an expansion or retracement or both, on some time frame, there is a market maker model being completed, right? And remember, on our daily time frame, we said that this right here was our manipulation leg coming down, right? So we see an expansion and a retracement right there, right? Now, let's go back down to our 60-minute time frame, right? Squanch the chart back up, right? Remember we said that's our expansion and our retracement on the daily time frame. What do you notice right down, even with the chart all squanched up? You ain't got it. If you look here, you see right here, right? We got this little area where we just kind of engineer some liquidity right here, right? We come down there, right? What does this look like? This look like a little area of distribution, look like a little area of redistribution. And this right here sort of looks like a smart money reversal right there, right? And then if you draw that line there, you notice, hey, I'm on the right side of a market maker buy model, right? And then we had an expansion and a retracement that completed a market maker buy model. Oh my goodness, I would have never thought that. Yes, so on that daily time frame, when we saw that expansion, that retracement, right, which ended up being an expansion and a reversal because we had come down into our anticipatory reactionary point. So we had us a consolidation, an expansion, a reversal, a retracement, and a delivery, right? Remember that? CERRD, right? Consolidation, expansion, reversal, retracement, delivery, right? That's how that played out. And based off of our manipulation leg, we said that 27,459.5 was our one standard deviation from this leg there. That was our reasonable target above our buy side liquidity, right? And then we said, since we have nothing else to look at, these half deviation points, right? These are reasonable targets for the algorithm to stretch towards. Do we got to get there? No, but it gives us something that we can understand what the algorithm is going to do. Now, let's zoom in, right? Now that we understand what those lines are, right? We're going to zoom in here, right? And this is our weekly price action. This is the start of our week right over here. That's the start of our week there, right? This is the end of the week today, okay? When we look at our week, right? Let's get everything in screen so we can understand what's going on, right? While we were up here above our old high, engineering liquidity here throughout this entire week, right? We said that how can we utilize what we've learned to anticipate what price is going to do, right? So when we look, just like we have these Fibonacci lines right here, that's anchored in between that 1.5 and that 1, right? We also saw that we could do the same thing here and anchor a Fibonacci tool in between these two, right? We already looked at that earlier, but we'll look at it again, right? Anchor that in between there. That's close enough for government work right there, right? Might not be picture perfect, but it's close enough for government work, right? And as we see, when we was ending last week there, right? We was ending last week here, right around event horizon, right there. Then we came up into the upper quadrant of that area right there. And then when we opened up the week, right? When we opened up the week, as we came down, right? We were using that upper quadrant as support, right? We were seeing discount sensitivity at that upper quadrant. The algorithm was unwilling to drop down, right? And invalidate this last expansion leg of our buy program. It was unwilling to come down and invalidate. We talked about there is a lot of sell side liquidity here, but since we completed this market maker sell model there and came back to a discount of this latest expansion leg, that could be all the downside that the algorithm wants and continue up. Why? Because we see that we're getting discount sensitivity at this quadrant in between, this upper quadrant in between two anticipatory reactionary points based off our projection. All right. Once we do the dude up in there, engineering liquidity, right? Up in here, we had a lot going on with news and earnings and all kind of stuff they like to use to manipulate the market. But with all that manipulation, we see that price is just hitting these levels to the T, right? We came over here, we do the doing around here. You see that lower octant right there? We had that on the chart for quite a few days. When do we hit this? We hit this at Wednesday night. That means yesterday's trading is when we finally hit this lower octant at 27,600. So that means Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right? We was up here flirting around, not trading into that 27,600 even lower octant. It probably was a lot of people saying, man, Tim don't know what he talking about, man. We fun to drop. We fun to drop. But what? We know we wasn't dropping because we said we just completed the market maker sell model. We're not showing a willingness to invalidate this buy program. So don't be trying to make the market go down. It's respecting bullish order flow. We kept saying that we are in a sell market maker sell model, but we're starting to respect bullish order flow. Be careful. Kept saying that, right? Now, right, we finally hit that lower octant right there, right? Now that we've hit that lower octant right there, right? You say, Tim, now what? Right? Same old thing. Right, we come back down into our order block. Remember yesterday, this was that highly manipulated day. We talked about this. Came back down into the order block, pushed up into the SIBI, dropped back down, manipulated the low again, came back up. Where? Right back into that lower octant. Right, that lower octant there started out today's trading, and boop. Attack that high. What is attacking that high do? Going up here. That's extending our buy program, right? That's extending our buy program. Buy program is extended. But Tim, I see we're extending the buy program, but how can I use it? How can I use it to trade? I'm glad you asked that question, little Timmy Rogers. Let's drop down into a 15-minute time frame and look at the magic. Because guess what? Not only, what do we say? You see how price is in like no man's land right here in between these octants, right? Price is fractal. So just like we drew anchored Fibonacci tools in between these two anticipatory reactionary points, right? When you're going into the lower time frames, you can do the same thing with these octants. You can do the same thing with these quadrants. You can go in and put in more Fibonacci tools to give you something to help you with your trading decisions, especially when the ranges are large and you don't have anything to look to your left and gauge off of. Tim, you're just making stuff up now. I know you're making it up. Okay, watch this. I'm going to make these lines fat. I'm going to fatten them up, right? So we won't be confused. I'm fattening them up. And I'm going to increase the font size, right? These are the octants that we put in between the -1.5 and the -1, right? We're going to drop down to the 15-minute time frame, and we're going to pay attention to what little Timmy Rogers was using today to help him with his trading decisions. Go, oh my goodness! Are those octant levels in between? Those little octant levels? Huh? Oh my, hold on. Look at how let me fatten these up so you can see them good. I want you to be able to see them, right? Burger. Let me come up here to this one here. I got that one too, just in case it kept wanting to run off on the plug, but it didn't. It ain't want to run off on the plug, right? So when I fatten those up, oh my goodness, it is you. It is you, right? So you can see, right? You can see that even after, right? Even after price sat here engineering liquidity, right? And then we, first thing in the morning at 9:30, right? What do? We took off and we traded all the way above that quadrant level. Remember, this right here was that octant that we was looking at. It took forever to get to. And then we jumped all the way above the next octant / quadrant level of that range, right? Non-stop, just took off. Okay? And then once we did that, right? We'll get into that when we get into the New York time frame. But just looking at, right? Just looking at what price did once we got above this all-time high, right? Without anything to look to the left, utilizing what we know about that magical Fibonacci tool, how to anchor it to the correct swing high and swing low. And then once you get those projections, how to go in and map out a dealing range that the algorithm will perform inside of to help you make your trading decisions. You can see how dangerously accurate, right, your analysis can become. Dangerously accurate.
Let him cook! I said let him cook!
Man, y'all do me a favor, hit a like for the algorithm before they take me off the internet, and share this with somebody. Cause I'm gonna mess around and get banned if I keep doing this, I'm gonna get banned from YouTube.